بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. وليد با حمدان من شركة سيل. My question is to Dr. Hamad. If you let me or you allow me to, with an open heart to a little bit debate what you said. You are saying based on a certain experience that with a failure investment in Egypt and a failure investment in Sudan, I don't think we should rely only on one experience, because there are so many other successful investments in those two countries. That's first of all. Second of all is that I think we in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, with limited water resources and very expensive desalination of water, I don't think we should spend 87% of our water, a very expensive water, and water resources in the agriculture. I think we should, as we talked in the last 2 days, we are part of this global village, and we have to utilize the different resources from the different countries with a certain integration. And that's why I think we are grateful to hear about the initiative of the custodian of the two holy mosques about this food security initiative. Please answer.
Turkey, I think the question is directed to you.
Let me be clear. When we talk about investment in agriculture in Saudi Arabia, I'm talking about the small stakeholder farmer. We have about 6 to 8,000 or 6 to 8 billion cubic meters of renewable water. The purpose of agriculture in Saudi Arabia, it will give us a twin-track system. Number one, it's a corporate social responsibility. As everybody is aware, we have a high percentage of poverty in Saudi Arabia, and agriculture is one of the best to reduce that poverty. This is for the investment in Saudi Arabia. I fully agree with you. We have a limited budget, 6 to 8 billion cubic meters. This is what we do farming. Farming goes to small farmer, not farmer like me. Everything I own, including my bisht, is from the farming. But now it should concentrate on the small farmer. If we talk about investment outside of the country, what we really need to do here is the bureaucracy of the government of Saudi Arabia versus the bureaucracy of the government of any other countries. This is, they should protect each other's, and how do we invest? In Sudan, if we look at the history, most of the African countries have got their independence in 1950 and 1960. Ownership of land is extremely difficult. You simply cannot own land. I'll give you an example on Egypt. There was a law that they will give all the students who graduated from agriculture, they gave them a land. They have invested, they have promoted it, they have sweat their head off to get that farms off track and to make it running. You know what did the government did? After they finish, they said, you have to pay me the price as developed land. This is what they did to their agriculture student. I think, don't quote me on my memory, whether it's a 3,400 or 4,300, they took the government of Egypt to court, and I think they won. Of course, they charged much less money, but it's a lot more money than that. If we talk about Sudan, there got to be a clear title ownership, and it got to be owned. My personal advice, it should be the government of Saudi Arabia should own that land, and then it should be as a partnership with the Saudis and the local in Sudan or in Egypt, not government of Sudan or government of Egypt. We're talking about here is a public company. Take an example as Hadco or Nadic in Saudi Arabia, and that should be owned by the public of Sudan or Egypt. Why? They will give you the social protection And this is how we could go forward. That's my personal opinion. I don't presented anybody here. I presented my personal opinion, so I don't take anybody's responsible for it except myself. I hope I answered your question. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Of course, there are examples of successful investment in agriculture abroad, and there are failed examples. Now, there are things to do and things not to do in investment. There are what we call it best practices of investment. There is guidelines. Of course, there is also things to search for in an investment country. One of the principal things is constitutional stability of that country, clarity of laws, all of these things. But let me take the question from number 3, mic number 3, please, and then we go to 2. I hope there is no one there I'm forgetting.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Ana Muhammad al-Mutlaq. I have a problem really understanding the position of my friend Dr. Sami as Safula Group and Ustad Turki. And the idea of I guess if we want to say أمن الغذائي, this is a major subject that cannot apply to Saudi Arabia, because basically we are not an agricultural society. We cannot go against nature. Safula Group is basically a trading company. Okay, bring something raw and refined and package it and sell it, fine. There is no problem with that. But this is not Amn Ghidai. It has nothing to do with it. And I appreciate what Safula and others are doing, but it's not going to solve our serious problem. And as for my friend Turkey, there is no way we can have farming in this country. This country cannot and will never be a farming society. There is no way. We don't have water. The water that was made in 10,000 years ago or 10,000 years ago, this generation has no right to deplete it. And we have a disastrous experience with al-qamh. We all know it. For 30 years, what we did basically is we depleted the water, then we went back to square one. We started re-importing now. And communities, farm communities, we don't farm. There are no farmers. There are no Saudi farmers. If you don't have indigenous labor force, whether it's in agriculture or in industry or anything else, then we cannot talk about local community. And this is not possible. It is much, much better for us to take the risk in places like Sudan or Egypt or anywhere else. Much better and much safer for the future of this land and the future generations, rather than deplete our water. And if we cannot do business in Sudan and Egypt, fine. We can go to many other places. All you will lose or you have to do is add the shipping cost. But you can go to civilized countries. You can own land. You will be under the law. You will have a proper